Chapter 16. Thank you. Spyro bowed deeply to the mole healer. I really appreciate this. He puffed his chest out, striking his pectoral muscles. They were healed over and he was grateful to the healer, more than usual. You're welcome, Master Spyro. The mole nodded, pleased with the dragon's happiness. The pearl dragon bowed and dashed out the pavilion. The healer was busy cleaning up supplies and seeing suddenly burst in the room. Has Spyro been here? She asked, out of breath. The mole jumped and grasped at his chest. He was here to have me check up on a wound he received while you were away. He left just a little while ago. He did? Answered confused Cinder. I wasn't expecting him to do that. She sat down and scratched her head, still puzzled with herself. As she looked at the floor, she noticed several more drops of blood and her heart began to beat faster. She looked down and squinted slightly as the mole continued pulling away his tools. Was he bleeding? She asked inquisitively. The healer felt a chill run down his spine as he felt Cinder's eyes on the back of his head. He swallowed hard as he turned around. He was a little, yes. He said he was going about some sort of project of his and they had managed to open that wound. Thankfully it wasn't too terrible. Judging by what he mentioned before, it's a good thing the wound wasn't fully reopened. I see, Cinder said, still somewhat suspicious. Thank you for taking care of him. I do worry about him a lot. So I've heard. The healer just goggles. I assure you he's doing just fine. Thank you. Cinder bowed and left the pavilion. When he was sure she was gone, the mole let loose a deep sigh and stumbled by a chair. My goodness, he gasped and fanned his face with a paw. That dragon's gonna be downright terrifying when she's concerned for that boy. Cinder walked back up to her in Spyro's room. Unfortunately, the purple dragon wasn't there. By now it was already late in the afternoon. She had helped the moles in the construction of the catapults up until half hour ago. She was exhausted as well as the other guardians. She flopped down the pillow and let her eyes drift around the dark room. Spyro's arm was too strong about making quite a mess of his normally neat room. Her thoughts drifted to the purple dragon and what he may have been doing the whole day. Before she knew it, she was fast asleep. Several hours passed before Spyro trudged back to his room. He was covered in a fresh batch of cuts and bruises. He sighed when he saw the black dragon curled up on his pillow cushions. He wanted desperately to be by her side, but knew his condition was only going to worry her. Good night, Cinder, he whispered before slipping down the halls again. Cinder stirred in sleep as the sound of his voice reached her. Spyro, she murmured and rolled over, but didn't wake up. The next morning, Cinder woke with the light shining in her eyes. She groaned in irritation and covered her head with her wing. Damn, I hate it when it does that, she grumbled. Usually she didn't have to worry about it because she was usually tucked against Spyro's body, who shielded her from the brightness. It was then she noticed that she was alone. Spyro was nowhere in the room. That means Sparks was around anywhere. The dragons began to worry immediately. She got up off the pile of pillows, and headed down to the dining hall. Along the way, she managed to find Sparks, who looked like he was flying asleep. Sparks, where have you been? Have you seen Spyro anywhere? Not since yesterday. Dragonfly rubbed his bloodshot eyes. I'm really worried about him, Sparks. Something's going on and he's not telling me. You're not the only one, sister. Sister cracked his neck loudly. All that was his suspicion of that new guy Stella brought back as a souvenir. Leon? Cinder raised his brow. This was the first time she had heard that Spyro didn't trust someone. Which was really unlike him to begin with. Yeah, I was checking him out when the Guardians were interviewing him yesterday. You were spying on them? Cinder seemed shocked. Well, I couldn't call it spying. I wouldn't call it spying. Just helping my best friend out. Sparks put on an instant look. Cinder smiled slightly. Well, what did you find out? Nothing really. Sparks shook his head. It wasn't much of an evil to begin with. The big guy seemed more interested with what Flame had to say, and even then he didn't get that much attention from them. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this whole thing with the wolves is a lot bigger than we once thought it was. There's gotta be something beneath all of this. Cinder shook her head. Yeah, Sparks rubbed his chin. I think we should start with that new guy Leon, just to make sure he's clean. I don't know. Cinder looked at the floor. I don't know if I feel right about spying on Stella like that. Hey, do you want to find out what's going on with Spyro and the big guys up top? Well, yeah. Then let's get to work. Spike floated over and lay down to Cinder's head and closed his eyes. What are you doing? Going to sleep? I took the night shift. You can take the day. Cinder's side shook her head. The things I do for Spyro. Over a week passed. Spyro had hardly slept during the entire time, and the times he did sleep, his dreams were nothing but nightmares. Malvar had hovered over Spyro's shoulder, day in and day out, taunting the young dragon with his words and tormenting him in his sleep. Each morning, Spyro would wander the halls and streets of Dragon City, doing his best to avoid his friends so he could get to the healer. He was thankful he didn't have Cinder around to see him in such a broken state, but he did wonder what she was doing if she wasn't looking for him. Man, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Sparks groaned as Cinder flowed down the pillars late one afternoon. What do you mean? It was your idea in the first place. Cinder let the dragonfly slide down her face and plopped himself on her pillow. I know, but I didn't think it would be so much work. Spark clapped a hand against his forehead. Cinder raised a brow and Sparks took instant notice. It's just so boring when the guy doesn't do anything except hang around Stella and be all mushy, flirty with her. So are you saying that you hope that something does happen to Spyro? No, but I figure where Spyro is concerned, there's never a dull moment. Cinder sighed. She knew that Dragonfly had a point. Every bit of trouble she had experienced had revolved around Spyro. She couldn't fully complain because they had brought the two of them closer together as more than just friends, but a couple. The quiet moments she shared never seemed to last long enough, though. Cinder sighed and let herself sink into the pillows. As her eyelids began to fall, she whispered to herself, Spyro. Spyro groaned as he scraped himself off with the floor side. Yet another night without any good sleep. The purple dragon had fought the Dark Master all night long until his body succumbed to its exhaustion. Earlier he had done well to beat the dragon metaphor now possessed, but just when it seemed like he would emerge victorious, the Dark Master would retreat in the shadows to plague the young dragon's mind with dark magic. Every time, Spyro was forced to relive that dream where he had failed to protect Cinder, each time worse than less, as the Dark Master would put a new and sinister twist on it. Spyro groaned as he dragged himself to his pavilion. Spyro! The monk exclaimed, seeing Spyro's wounds were much more severe today than they had been in the past couple of weeks. What ignite this thing are you doing every day show up at my clinic like this? It's been the same thing every morning. I'm sorry to trouble you, Spyro mumbled sleepily. He turned to leave, but the monk grabbed his tail. Not so fast. As soon as you step through that door, you're my patient, and you don't leave until I think you're fit to. Spyro did what the doctor said and laid down at his work table and closed his eyes as the monk went about patching him up. It would be one thing if it was you and the Kennedys showing up each morning, but when it's on you I see, I can't help but wonder. Spyro didn't answer as he went into a light slumber. You're going to lose, young dragon. Most of his force knew from the doctors around him. You will fall to me, and so will the rest of the world. What do you plan to do, Malfoy? Spyro growled. Are you going to try and destroy the world, Ken? Oh no, not at all. A pair of cinder yellow eyes appeared in darkness. Only a purple dragon is capable of bringing about such an event. At this point, all I desire is to make you suffer from my defeat. And I think I'll start with your precious Cinder. Dark Master left, his eyes fit into darkness. Spyro. The purple dragon's eyelids twitched. Spyro, wake up! Huh? Spyro opened his eyes to see Hero standing before him. Sorry. Spyro yawned. Are we done? Yes. The moon nodded sternly. Now the remaining reality you today is a bit different. If you want it to work properly, you need to get yourself some food immediately. Yeah. Spyro nodded lazily. Food would be pretty good right now. He slightly withdrew as he trudged out to the clinic. The healer shook his head sadly before cleaning up. Spyro made his way toward the master dining hall. When he got there, he found the other guardians already there and finishing up their breakfast. Hey, Spyro, Glenn called. Where have you been? We haven't seen you in almost 2 weeks now. He and the others all bent over and Spyro immediately found himself surrounded. When they got close enough, they noticed Spyro's condition and their smiling faces turned to worry. Spyro, what happened to you? Amber asked as she looked him over. Nothing. What are you talking about? Spyro asked her. You look like you never heard of the word sleep before. Trim looked at him and looked him in the eye. The bird dragon had dark bags under his eyes, and his eyes were glazed from lack of sleep. I've just been working on something. Spyro tried to laugh it off, but his friends weren't convinced. Yeah, right. Somehow I doubt it. Amber scowled at him. What could you be doing to get so many cuts and bruises? I've heard of serious training before, but this would just be insane on your part. What? Spyro looked so far to see if his wounds hadn't fully healed yet. Shit! He told himself as he tried to come up with a good lie. I was just out in the woods and fell into a thorn patch. Did you just hear that? Jordan asked as he lifted his hand and listened. Hear what? Kenneth asked. I left my push alarm in my room, but I could have just sworn I heard it go off. He looked sternly at Spyro. Yeah, I have to agree with Pepper Brain. Kenneth nodded. That's a crock pot if I ever heard one. Spyro was left speechless. He didn't know what to say. He hung his head low at Kenneth as Kenneth pushed past him. When they had gone, Spyro turned and left the dining hall to be alone. He practically turned himself up the main flights of stairs to the upper tower where the training room was. When he got there, he found the candidates waiting for him. He wasn't expected to be there waiting. Oh, are you going to explain to us what's going on, Blah. Are you coming to explain to us what's going on, Spyro? Amber gave him a dirty look. Spyro tried looking her in the eye, but couldn't. You what, Spyro? Claimed pressed. What is so important you can't tell us? The next range of guardians for our world. Your friends. Spyro looked at them with tears in his eyes. I'm sorry, you guys. He shook his head. I can't say. Why not? Said him as she took a step forward, lightning crackling angrily around her paw. How can we help you if you won't tell us? You can't help me, Spyro said through clenched teeth. Why? Do you not trust us? I demanded. No, that's not it, Spyro protested. Then what is it, Spyro? Candace snapped. We're not hatchlings. We can handle bad news. I can't tell you. Something I have to deal with on my own. Spyro shot back. So son, the Pearl Dragon doesn't need the help of his friends? Explained Spat. You're not the Spyro I used to know and admire. Fine. You wouldn't know what's going on? Spyro short and Tower shook. He could feel his temper rising. Just as he opened his mouth to speak, an image flashed in his mind. The sea of warfare burned before him with the bodies of moles and dragons scattered throughout the land. If you tell them, I'll kill her. The female voice growled. Spyro clenched his teeth tight as he fell to his knees, crying and shaking his head in despair. Immediately his friends felt sorry for pressing him so hard. Spyro. Hey man, we didn't mean it the way it sounded. Glenn took a step forward. Yeah, Ember nodded. We just worried about you. It's not like you disappeared the way you did for so long. You could have at least access give you some space. Stella placed a kind of wing over him. I'm sorry, you guys. Spyro sobbed. I'm not afraid to say what's been going on. It's just too risky. Spyro looked up to meet her eyes, but instead found himself staring at the Black Dragon. The dragon smiled. Very good, Spyro. It's amazing what you'll do to protect Cinder. You turn your back on your own friends for her. You! Spyro bellowed with rage. The candidates all jumped in alarm as the purple dragon suddenly rose to his feet with hatred burning his eyes. I would rethink what you're about to do, young dragon. Malfoy sneered. The Black Dragon's flame infested the Dark Master. If you attack me, not only will you be putting Cinder's life in danger, but your friends as well. Nearby, Candace shuddered. He felt a slight chill in the air, and it wasn't because of her. No! Spyro bared his teeth in fear gripped the candidates. No more! I'm done letting you torment me, Malfoy. It ends here. Oh, you think so? The Dark Master laughed. Then show me. With a cry of anger, Spyro rushed forward. The guards all dove out of the way, but Spyro stopped before he even got to them. He slammed into Malfoy, and the Black Dragon flew back and hit the wall with tremendous force. What the hell was that? I guess he saw a cloud of dust blow from the floor. Jumanura's eyes began to focus. Slowly he began to see the delusion. He watched as the Black Dragon, much larger than himself, rose off the floor. It's a dragon! Tremor gasped. Candace looked at him, then to the wall. With a loud cough, she spun a spray of eyes across the room. Malfoy never saw the strike coming, and was frozen where he stood. The illusion disappeared, and the candidates all gasped as they watched the Black Dragon struggle to free himself. Damn all of you guardians! The Dark Master snarled. The candidates all shrank back as the evil manifestation loomed over their heads. Hey! Their head turned to face Spyro. Your fight is with me! He fired a Spyro ball up at the Dark Master, but missed as the manifestation withdrew into the Black Dragon's body. The dragon's eyes glowed purple, and with a mighty roar, he broke free of the ice prison that held him. The guardians all assumed offensive stances and snarled at the Dark Master. Just as they were about to go on the attack, there was a loud thud. The dragon turned to see Spyro laying on his side. Spyro! Stella cried and bounded over to him. The other guards were about to do the same when four figures began to form in the training ring, cutting the dragons off from their friends and their escape. Malfoy loved as he watched them take several wary steps back from the monsters that stood before them. I'll have the quick questions if you all survive this fight, Malfoy sneered. Why, you... Tremor roared around at Dark Master. The Black Dragon slammed a paw on the Earth Dragon's chest, sending him flying. Tremor smashed into the ceiling and plunged to the floor where he lay still. Tremor! Candace screamed when she saw he wasn't getting up. She turned around to see the Black Dragon fade away into the shadows. The first monster screeched and ripped back on her hind legs, stretching the air with her talons. Stella, go get help! Flame shouted. We'll hold them off. But hurry! Right! The golden dragon is turning a boat down the stairwell. Flame, are you sure we can take them? Ember called nervously. Just remember your training. Flame nodded and puffed his chest out and spread his wings displaying his dominance. We can do it! His comment startled the girls for a split second, but they quickly followed his lead. Yeah, Ember nodded. Let's go! The two big ones are mine. Flame smiled and his body began to glow with fiery energy. I'll take the monkey. Ember circled her opponent, who eyed her with his one good eye. And I'll take... Candace looked at her opponent, who was glaring back at her. Spyro? Just then, a loud roar echoed through the city. Sarah popped hard as she raced down the halls. She was so confused by what was going on. Her mind raced so much she was practically running blind. Her legs ached as she hurried towards the dining hall, hoping to find who she needed. Outside, the clouds grew dark. As if responding to the growing conflict, and lightning cracked across the sky. Shortly after, the rain began to come down in sheets and buckets. At last, Ella reached the dining hall and secured to a stop. Cinder! She called out desperately. The monster turned to her, but she found no sign of Cinder. Has anyone seen Cinder this morning? She wheezed, almost unable to breathe. Not yet, ma'am, the cook replied as he hurried over to the fretted dragoness. What seems to be the trouble? Sally shook her head. We've got major problems up in the training hall. We need Cinder's help now. What's going on? Everyone turned to see Cinder standing just outside the door behind Stella. I heard my name down the hall. What's going on? Cinder, you gotta come to the training hall quick. It's Spyro. Cinder's eyes grew wide. Stella, you go get Terror and the other guardians. I'll go and see if I can do anything about... An earth-shattering roar cut Cinder off, and a beam of fire energy cut across the sky. Without wasting another second, the black dragon spread her wings and flew out into the rain and wind towards the upper towers. She landed near the entrance to the training hall and instantly felt a blast of hot air. There was a sheer cry and a howl of pain from inside. The black dragon rushed towards the entrance. What she saw inside was enough to make the blood in her fangs turn ice. Or turned ice. Ember was slashed into the back of a flaming baboon, flying at him and burning his fur with her breath. The Ape King Gaul howled furiously and beat at her with his staff. High above, Flame battled out with Dark Cinder and Malfoy, the Dark Master. The two larger dragons dove in, swinging talons and tails at the young guardian, who was unable to dodge them fairly easily. In the middle of the chaos stood Candace, faced with none other than Spyro. The other combatant moved. Candace seemed almost too petrified to make a move. Dark Cinder fired off a black fireball. Flame countered with one of his own, and the explosion knocked both dragons back. Malfoy charged out of the cloud of smoke and struck Flame, knocking him back into the ceiling. The fire breather recovered quickly and bounced back, slamming his horns to the Dark Master's face. The purple dragon snarled and clutched at his nose. Flame unleashed a wave of fire at the same moment Malfoy did. The two forces pushed against each other until Cinder joined with her own dark fire breath. Flame's eyes widened as he began to shrink back and put more force in his blast. The Dark Master narrowed his eyes at the young dragon. Suddenly, he and Cinder broke away, and the beam burned clean to the wall before melting into stone. The two adult dragons charged with mouths open and flashed out at Flame. The guardian shrouded himself in a ball of fire at the last moment, burning both dragons as they struck him. Flame hit the wall and the stone gave way. The dragon's body fell to the floor, and the rocks came crashing down on top of him. The Dark Master and Cinder snarled, pleased with their work. Cinder dove down to Ember, who had just about brought Gaul down completely. The Ape King was struggling to rise to his feet. Ember reared his head back, Flame slicking at the edge of her lips, preparing to deliver the final blow. It was then that Dark Cinder snatched Ember up in her talons and hurled her towards her fallen mate. Ember bounced off the pile of rocks as the fire blast hit the ceiling, burning both fire dragons. Candace broke her step from Dark Spyro as she watched her friend fall beneath the pile of stone. Her jaw fell open as she stared at the recovering Ape King and two evil dragons before returning her eyes to Dark Spyro, who seemed to be looking right into her soul. Why can't I move? She screamed in her head. Am I really that terrified at Spyro? What's wrong with me? Candace, run! Cinder cried. But instead of running, Candace lunged for an all-out strike on Dark Spyro. The corrupted dragon narrowed his eyes and opened his mouth. He sidestepped as the dragon's talons missed him by inches. He clenched his jaws down on her foreleg, causing her to cry out in pain. Candace continued to scream as the dark dragon proceeded to tear the flesh from her bones. Suddenly there was a loud snap as her foreleg broke. The dragon's wounded shock from the pain. Dark Spyro hurtled into the wall, cracking the stone on impact. The dragoness felt the wind rush out of her body, and her eyes widened as her head snapped back, hitting the wall as well. She fell back to the floor and coughed hard, trying to regain her lost wind. Dark Spyro rose in the air and opened his mouth wide. A ball of electrical energy began to form, growing larger and larger by the moment. Kenneth saw what was coming and tried to get up with her 3 good legs and a shredded, broken limb tucked to her body. She had just about given up when one of her hind legs gave out and she crumbled to the floor. Opposite side, Trevor began to regain consciousness. His eyes adjusted to the light and began to focus. Cinder stood over him, dripping wet from the rain, frozen in horror. The other dragon shook the stars and checkers out of his head and looked up. He hovered across the room, sent candles with claws upon the floor. Blood spilled from her shredded forearm. The dragon was trying to move away from the dark dragon, preparing to fire a country bar of lightning. Candace! Tremor suddenly sprang to his feet, ignoring the pain that coursed through his body. No, Tremor, don't! Cinder shouted as the Earth Guardian charged Dark Spyro. Just before he struck his target, Gauss stepped in and struck the dragon with his staff. Tremor rolled across the floor and recoiled from the hit. He charged again as the Ape King raised his staff and swung with the intention of impaling the young dragon. Tremor smirked and swung his tail slightly, shifting the ground beneath his own feet, allowing him to evade the attack. As the dragon rushed past the Ape King, he swung his tail club, connecting with his target's forehead, knocking him on his back. No! Tremor roared and seemed to glow with the swirling green energy. Cinder Candace had never seen before. Candace sighed fast as the time slowed down as Dark Spyro unleashed his attack. The ice dragoness closed her eyes and covered herself with her wings. There was a loud screech and thunderous boom. After a second, Candace opened her eyes and peeked out from behind her wings. Tremor stood in front of her with his wings covering him, and bracing himself against a wall of rock. The dragon struggled against the intense force of lightning until the force became too much. Dark Spyro forced more power into his shot and pierced through the wall of stone. The bolt cut through the top member of Tremor's wings and struck him in the chest. Impossible! He gasped in wide-eyed shock. The bolt combusted and the explosion shook the tower. Tremor's body shot like a piercing rocket through the wall of the tower, and threw 7 more of the throwing structures before smashing the earth far below. No, Tremor! Candace squeaked in horror. She had never seen this sort of power before. Dark Spyro turned to the ice dragoness and once more began to charge up another shot. God was getting to his feet and rubbing his head when suddenly he jolted. Dark Spyro paused what he was doing, and every head turned to the Ape King. That is enough! Cinder growled through clenched teeth with tears streaming down her cheeks. She withdrew her tailblade from the middle of God's back, and the training dummy faded away. The dark monster of Dark Cinder howled in anger drove for the dark dragoness. A shudder ripped through Cinder's body. She turned her head to the sky and let out a piercing cry. The sound caused the Dark Master and her evil doppelganger stuck dead in midair and clutched at their heads. Cinder created a pitch of her cry, and the 2 dragons fell to the floor with a loud crash before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Cinder sucked in a deep breath of air and turned towards Dark Spyro. She had encountered him twice before, but never in a battle of powers. The dragon stood on his hind legs and spread his wings wide. Cinder extended herself to her full body length and gave a bone-rattling roar. His eyes seemed to almost glow and her tail lashed the air. Dark Spyro smiled and opened his mouth, gathering power from all 4 of his elements. Cinder spread her wings as a powerful purple arrow surrounded her. Cinder, Candace whispered in astonishment. She had never before seen the dragoness use this new power before. Just as Dark Spyro was preparing to unleash his attack, Cinder struck first. She opened her jaws as wide as she could, and a beam of pure complexity struck the evil entity head-on. The 4 elements that Dark Spyro had gathered exploded. Bolts of lightning cut through the walls before the flames turned the rock into a furnace. Candace screamed from the intense heat. Then the ice enemy froze over the tower, putting the flames out. Then the massive earth bullets Dark Spyro had charged shattered the ice. Candace caught herself as the jagged shots plummeted towards her. Cinder gave one final push and cut through Dark Spyro. The training dummy vanished, giving Cinder only seconds to react. The dragoness leaped into the air, immediately creating a whirlwind. The gust blew the debris away from Candace and lifted into the air. When she was high enough, Cinder stopped and tore the wind funnel apart, sending debris flying in all directions. The chunks of frozen stone flew off a distance, and she gasped for breath. As she descended towards the training hall floor, she spotted Stella running up the steps with Hunter close behind her, They got speeding their wings fast to the top level. The Black Dragoness landed beside Candace and inspected her injuries. The Ice Dragoness was pretty shaken on the whole ordeal. Hunter walked over and scooped the Dragoness up in his arms, staggering slightly from awake, but being gentle enough not to injure her more. "Is everyone alright?" the other asked, and he landed in the middle of the room. Before anyone could answer, a bright light began to shine from under a pile of stones. There was a loud crack, and then Ember burst free. She panted heavily before looking around. "Flame!" she cried and began to dig him out. Kriya walked over and helped her dig out the unconscious fire guardian. He had several cuts and bruises, but didn't look too serious. "Where's Tremor?" Butcher started looking around. "Tremor?" Candace whimpered. Then she came flying out of her trance. "Tremor!" She struggled against Hunter's grasp and looked over her shoulder. The cheetah walked over and looked down the city below. He could just barely make out the holes that had been punched through several buildings and the crater at the very bottom. "What happened here?" Sinner asked as she walked over to Amber, who stood over Flame. "I'm still not sure myself," the pink dragoness replied warily. She began to tell the story of how they had run to Spyro in the dining hall, and how they had approached him in the training hall. How Spyro had seemed to have gone crazy and charged him only to defeat an invisible black dragon whose flames infested into a dragon that looked a lot like one of the ones they had just battled. "This is much more than we had originally thought." Mercy was flying against the skull. "What do you mean?" Candace asked, bringing her attention from the sea below. "Never mind now." Hunter shook his head and looked around. "Where's Spyro?" "He's right there." Amber turned to where the purple dragon lay, but her force trailed off. "At least he was."